Good afternoon and welcome to Totally Holistic Health, and today I thought it would be very appropriate to do something that's a little bit more restorative. Obviously with all the coronavirus stuff going around at the moment, the last thing that people are very, very stressed, and I know that in my classes, my group classes, this has been sort of requested because it just seems to be what people actually need at the moment rather than a stronger practice. So what we're going to need is a chair. A kitchen chair is absolutely fine, or if you've got a folding chair, that's fine as well. I've also got a couple of blankets as well, which are really, really useful because we can use them to prop ourselves up as well. So we're going to start off just by maybe getting a couple of blankets and just stacking them on top of each other. And we're just going to bring them, and we're going to come and sit on them. So we're sitting nice and tall. So what we're trying to do here is, again, just drop those knees down a little bit. If you do find your knees are up by your ears, that's absolutely fine. You can just straighten legs out in front of you if that feels comfortable as well. So just find a nice, comfortable seat. That's my hip just going to crack. Find a nice, comfortable seat. And again, just draw those shoulder blades down away from your ears. If you do want to, you can close your eyes, but equally, you can also just gaze down towards the floor if that suits you. We're just going to take a few moments at the start of our practice just to allow ourselves to settle. So breathing in and out, hopefully through the nose if that feels okay for you. We're just going to start by slowing the breath down. It's really nice to do this at the start of a practice because it just allows you just to set yourself up for this time for yourself. So it's just nice just to leave everything at the door. Just focus on yourself for the next half an hour or so. So also just notice if you're holding any tension anywhere in your body. Just notice where your shoulders are. Notice if your jaw's tight. Maybe just move the neck a little bit just to release any tension that happens to be there. And then just settle. Again, just notice whether your buttocks are nicely placed on your mat or on your blankets. As the breath becomes deeper, I'm just going to invite you now to breathe in through the nose and just very gently, just part the lips a little bit and just very gently breathe out through the mouth as if you're just trying to blow maybe on a bowl of soup or a hot cup of tea. So breathing in through the nose and sighing out or blowing out through the mouth. And then we're taking one last full deep breath in and sighing out one last time. And slowly opening our eyes, we're just going to release the neck. So just draw the neck down towards the chest. So it should feel as if you're almost like your head's a little bit heavy, so you're just allowing that gravity to hold it down. Not forcing anything, we're just allowing it to come down and rest. I'm going to roll the right ear onto the right shoulder. So just, again, make sure those shoulder blades stay down the back. So if you do find that they're rising up a little bit, just very gently, purposely bring them down so you've got some space between your ears and your shoulders. Breathing into the left side of the neck. And then draw the chin back down to the chest. And then move the left ear onto the left shoulder. And again, use the breath. Really important to keep that breath nice and steady. It just allows that tension to release. 2 Take the shoulder blades back as well, so if you find yourself coming forward into a more of a hunch position, it's nice just to draw those shoulder blades back. And then drawing the head down towards the chest. And then allowing the head to come back up. Wonderful. So we're going to come into a forward bend. So we're going to use a chair for this. So what I would suggest is putting one of the blankets onto the chair itself, and then you can use the other one underneath your bottom if you want to. It just gives you a little bit of extra height, probably a little bit more comfortable as well. So look at the chair a little bit closer. So we're going to come to face into the chair. So we bring both our legs either side of that chair. Okay. So we're going to bring the right knee or the right foot into that left thigh. So even again, we might find that this knee is a little bit high, which is fine. What you can do is use the blanket you've got underneath you just to roll it up a little bit into a little ball, just to give it a little bit of extra support. So again, you pop that underneath that knee just to give it a bit of support there. And also, equally, if you've got another spare blanket, what you can do is place that underneath that straight leg. You know, if you find it's a little bit uncomfortable, or you can just hook it around a little bit underneath the chair a little bit more. So again, what we're trying to do is not put any strain on the body, we're just allowing ourselves just to kind of come into a forward fold. So if you want to, bring your hands onto the chair and just allow ourselves just to settle down. So the thing with restorative yoga that makes it different from, I suppose, more hatha, normal type of yoga is the fact that you're actually supported as you're actually doing all these poses. So you get the benefit of the pose without putting too much undue stress on the body. So it's very, very good for, you know, if you are suffering from stress, if you have injuries, if you're suffering from autoimmune type issues. So it's just a nice one to do. And if you have like mobility issues, again, it's a really nice thing to do because you're just very gently opening up the body, but you're not stressing the body in any way. And this is really good because it's a forward fold. It's really nice and calming on the body. So we'd normally stay here for about 3 or 4 minutes. Again, just allow the breath just to really circulate around the back of the body as well as the front. So just having that awareness of the breath. And then very slowly ease ourselves back up. And then you can also just open up that right leg, and you can just move the hips a little bit, or the knees from side to side, just to release those hips a little bit, which is quite nice. Okay, so we need to do the second side. And it's probably, you will find that there's a difference on one side than the other. So again, if that knee was higher up, you might find that you can actually flatten this one, or you might feel different the other way around. But again, just use different blankets, use different props, and if you do need to bring maybe a pillow, it's also useful as well if you haven't got to bring a pillow close to you as well, if you're watching this in a replay. So just supporting the knee or bringing something underneath that straight leg. And again, just coming into that lovely forward bend. So again, what we're trying to do here, we're having that lovely stretch on the inside of the thighs, but we're not overstretching anything. So it's a really good pose just to really help open up the hips a little bit, but also because we're doing a forward fold, we're also giving the internal organs a very gentle massage, which is lovely. And also we're still working with the root chakra as well, because we're really grounding ourselves down with this pose. So it's a really relaxing, really grounding It's quite normal for the mind to maybe go wandering off, but just having that awareness of that mindful wandering of the brain, just coming back to the breath. A lot of people tend to think that meditation or being relaxed is about closing off the mind, but it's not. It's actually just having that ability to notice it, but also just drawing that energy back into the body. And it's that awareness of the body that's the most important. That's what we're trying to achieve. So it's quite nice to have an anchor to bring the mind back to. So that's why the breath is so important. So when we're in this position, just notice the tension maybe in the shoulders. So again, just noticing, releasing the shoulders down or back, the back a little bit. Just noticing the neck, noticing the jaw. Just notice if you're trying to force yourself in this position or whether you're actually just allowing gravity and the support of the chair to allow you to achieve it. And again, very gently, we're going to ease ourselves out of this. So I'm going to move the chair a little bit away, and again, just bringing the knees in like windscreen wipers, just moving the lower back. It's nice just to gently open ourselves up. Okay, so we're going to come into a very gentle back bend now. So again, this is a really nice one, particularly at this time. When people, obviously have issues with lungs, it's quite nice because it helps clear the lungs, and again, it's really opening of the heart. So we're going to get our blanket and we're going to just roll it up into a nice sausage. Okay, so we're going to bring that just across the mat, and you can bring the other one just folded a bit like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to come back onto the blanket. We're going to see if we can lay with it just level with the bra strap, or sort of where the shoulder blades are. I would normally do this with a bolster, but obviously because most people don't have bolsters, it's unlikely that you'll be able to use one. So again, what we're trying to do is just allow the head just to drop back a little bit. So we're opening up the chest. So you can just bring the arms down by your side. And if you have the palms facing up, what it does, it just again opens up the chest, it draws the shoulder blades a little bit more into the back, so allows the chest to open. If you do have issues with your lower back, you can also bend the knees a little bit as well if you want to, so that's absolutely fine. I also quite like crossing the legs as well, but again, that's an option you may or may not like. But the main thing is just find a nice comfortable space where you feel supported. We're just going to, again, just allow the breath to release. So again, we can feel that lovely expansion in the ribs, just trying to open up the rib cage. Easing that congestion in the chest. And again, staying here for another 3 or 4 minutes. I think it's quite nice just to notice how the belly rises and falls as you're breathing in. Ideally we should breathe into the belly rather than the lungs first of all, so just try to imagine the belly expanding and then releasing. again, if you want to stay here for a little bit longer, absolutely fine. Just pause the video and continue staying here as long as you want to. It's very restorative, it's really relaxing. But if you feel you want to move on, so we're going to just bring the feet as wide as the mat, just gently move the knees either side, just to release that lower back a little bit. And again, the main thing is just move in a way that feels comfortable for you. So again, don't overstretch anything. If it feels uncomfortable or any pain anywhere, just ease off. Okay, so we're going to roll onto one side. And then slowly come up to sitting for a second. And then we're going to just come into a really nice reclining position. So again, bringing the chair back. I will probably turn the chair around actually. Because it's a slightly, goes up a little bit, so it makes it slightly easier. So again, bringing the blanket onto there for a little bit of comfort, and it's also quite nice just to lay your second blanket out onto the floor. Just a little bit more comfortable. Also, you can actually, if you have it a little bit open, you can also wrap it around you if you want to as well. So we're going to bring the bottom up to the chair, and then slowly bring the calves onto the chair seat. And then I come back into a lovely reclining position. And the reason why this is a really strong pose in restorative yoga is we're just bringing the blood supply into the body. So we're just helping with lymphatic drainage here, allowing a lovely fresh flow of blood into the heart. And because of that, it's incredibly restorative, it's really relaxing. So it's a really, really good one for helping you sleep. Just make sure that the back of your neck is nice and long, so just very gently just drop the chin down a little bit. So rather than bring your head back like that, just bring your head into a nice neutral position. So we've got a nice long spine. And again, palms can be up if that feels right for you. Just let your arms rest by your side. And again, focusing on that breath. And again, you would normally stay in this position for about 7 to 10 minutes, or as long as it feels comfortable. And again, if you do want to, you can just pause that video. Or if you're ready to come out, we're just going to bring those knees into the chest. And again, if that's too much to bring the knees into the chest, you can just bring the knees as wide as the hips and just rock a little bit from side to side. Really gently taking that time. No rushing. Just gently nurturing the body. And then again, just very gently rolling onto your side. And just slowly coming up into a nice seated position. So again, just really take your time. And just using this time just at the end of our practice, just to really enjoy that lovely stillness. Taking a few breaths. Just noticing any changes in the body, but also just being aware of the shoulders, the hips, the jaw, the neck. And then bring the hands gently into the heart centre. We're going to lower our heads. And just offering gratitude for just taking that time out of our day just to nurture and offer some loving kindness to our bodies today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Till next time.